Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's Ed for me. Today we're going to be installing tints onto the 2015 Volkswagen Golf R. If you've never installed tints before, I really don't recommend you doing it yourself, or at least get somebody who's done it before to help you out so that you don't make any mistakes. The information online is very helpful in terms of how you should install tints, but this is definitely something that requires experience. And so on my first car, which was a '96 Camry, I installed tints on it. After that, I've been installing my own tints, and for that car, I made a lot of mistakes. It didn't come out looking too good, but that was fine because it was a '96 Camry. On this 2015 Volkswagen Golf R, I wouldn't really want to mess with it like that. So if you don't know how to do it, either get someone who knows how to do it or just have an installer do it for you. So even before you start, I think a really important thing, and one of the most important things, is that you have the right temperature in order to install a tint. Installing tints in cold weather is not a good idea. I've done it. It didn't turn out well. And if it's really hot, you might be really uncomfortable doing the tints, but it's probably better to do it on a day that's too hot than it is too cold. Today's like a perfect day. It's around 65 degrees. Right now I'm getting a little bit warm, which is fine, but you definitely want it to be warmer than colder. And the second thing that's really important before you even start installing tints is you do it on a day where it's not windy. A day like today is perfect. There's going to be absolutely no wind noise, which will basically make your job really hard because the tint will flap around. It might stick on itself, which is very hard to unfold. So definitely help out your chances of doing a good tint job by looking for a day that is nice and warm, as well as absolutely no wind. Obviously this doesn't apply if you could do it inside a garage, but for most of us we're doing it outdoors, and so it's really important that you pick the right day. I had to wait about 3 weeks before I'm installing tints to find the perfect day where I was free and where we had good weather. So I'm going to begin now. So what I always like to do is start by doing the tinier windows. That basically preps me getting ready for the large ones, which are a little bit more difficult, but the process is the same. There are a lot of DIYs out there. I don't really need to go over that again, so you can just see me do it. And what I'm going to do is give you a couple of tips as I think of them along the way as I work on this project. Okay? Not only do you want to clean the window itself, you want to kind of clean the trim around it, because if accidentally, when you're putting it on, the tint touches this trim, it's not going to pick up any dust from it. So you want to wet it down a lot. So I'm working with pre-cut tint, which makes life a lot more simple. But you just kind of want to line it up to make sure that it is going to fit properly. And I kind of take back my statement about it being better to be hot than cold, because on a really hot day things are going to get dry a lot quicker, but best thing to do is do it in the shade, out of the sunlight, not like what I'm doing right now. The key to a good tint is lubrication, so always keep everything as lubricated as you possibly can. Alright, so I just finished the small windows in the rear, and I wanted you guys to see the difference. So this is only 50% tint. You got to understand something. When you open one of these doors, you can't really tell a difference. At least I can't, maybe a little bit. But the difference comes when all the doors are closed and you look through both windows. So you can clearly see through that, but I think you can clearly see that there's a difference between the left and right side, even though it's very minimal. But when all the windows are tinted with 50% and 30 to 35% in the rear, It's all going to add up so that there is going to be an effect with the tint. So don't think that just because you're doing a light tint that it's not going to make any difference. It actually does make a difference. And this is the kind of look that I'm going for. I'm not looking to black out anything because I don't want to get any tickets. So this is actually perfect for me. Alright guys, so all done. I ended up swapping over to 35% on the sides and 20% in the rear here. Simply because 50 was just a little tad too light for me. So you can see, it's hard to see obviously on camera how dark 35% tint is, but it came out looking really nice. This window is basically impossible to do. Not impossible if you're a professional, I guess, but a bunch of places that actually called to quote for tinting. You know, I was thinking just calling places to get the whole car tinted. Said they wouldn't be able to do this window anyway, so I figured, hey, you know, I'll tint it myself. You know, just regular water bubbles that will cure in a couple of days. Hard to see on camera, but it came out looking really nice. And I don't think I'll have a trouble with cops for this percent tint, because even though the interior is dark and whatnot, you can still see inside pretty well. A couple of tips, I guess, is just make sure you have the right tools and make sure the weather is good. You definitely don't want to be doing this when the weather's poor, and you definitely want to make sure that you have the right tools, because getting into like seams and stuff where the window edges is really important. So you know, take your time. Having a buddy with you really helps out a lot, especially for this rear windshield right here. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave it below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.